Welcome guys in this lecture of Python programming series. In last lecture we saw Fibonacci series using while loop. In this lecture we will see while else condition. Now similar to for else, Python supports unique feature of while else loop also. So in this lecture we will see what is while else, how is it used, and how is it used using break and continue statement. So let's start with our Jupyter file that I have created. Okay, so the topic is while else loop in Python, and it is exactly similar to the for else loop. It works like that, only the basic syntax differences are always there. Okay, so let's see some program. I have got a value count. Let me initialize it with 0, so count is equal to 0. Now while this count value is less than say 5, while this count is less than 5, let me print this count and let me increment this as well. Count plus equal to 1. What will happen? Okay, so count is 0. 0 is less than 5. Yes, 0 is less than 5. Print count, print 0, and then increment the value of count. Now count is 1. 1 is less than 5. Yes, get inside while loop, print 1. Okay, now then increment the value of count. Count becomes 2. 2 is less than 5. Yes, get inside while loop, print it. Again increment the value of count. Count becomes 3. 3 is less than 5. Yes, get inside while loop, print 3. Increment the value of count. Now print 4. Count will become 4. 4 is less than 5. Yes, get inside while loop, print this and get print 4. Again count will be incremented to 5. Now 5 is less than 5. No, 5 is not less than 5, so it will not get inside while loop, and there is no other message outside while loop, so it will just come out of loop and the output will be displayed. So this is the basic concept of while loop. Now let's use the else loop just like we are using it in for loop. So else colon print, let me print something, print. Okay, we are out of the while loop. You can print any message just to check the conditions. Okay, so as we are expecting in for else also, this else is not within this while block, it is outside while block, so every time it has to be printed. So whatever message will be in else, this will get printed. If this else was not written, then it is also the same thing, because this else do not belong to while block, it is independent block. While is not controlling else. Whatever is written within else block has not got any control from while loop. So whatever you are writing in else loop, it's always going to get printed. Okay, so to avoid this thing, as in for else loop we are using break, here also we can use the break condition. Okay, now this break, what will this break will do? This break will check for first value and then it encountered the break, so it breaks the entire program. It terminates the program immediately as soon as the break was encountered. Okay, so this is the use of break, and you saw in prime number program when to use else, when to use without break. So this while else in presence of break is behaving like if else. If this condition is true, then execute this, else execute this, but without break this will be normal program. While loop will also get executed and else will also get executed. Okay, so another important function is continue. So let's see what will this continue will do and how to write this. If I write here continue, and let me just do some changes. Okay, so let me remove this from here. Count plus 1, it will increment and then I want to check if count is equal to 2. Okay, then continue will have to be indented and print count. Now see what happens, and shift enter. Okay, so what's happening now? What is happening? Okay, let me remove this else block also, because this will be only not giving the answer in presence of break, otherwise it will always execute. So I am commenting this. Count is less than 5, and then I am first incrementing the count. So the first value of count will be 1. Here it is checking 0 is less than 5 because it was started with 0. 0 is less than 5. Yes, 0 is less than 5. Go inside while, increment the value of count. It will become 1. Is 1 equal to 2? No. Now I am writing here continue, so nothing will happen. It will not stop, it will not terminate, it will just print the value of count 1. Then again it will jump here. 1 is less than 5. Yes, then increment the value of 1, it will become 2. Now here comes the role of continue. If 2 is equal to 2, continue. Now what continue do? The condition which is satisfied. Now here 2 is the condition which is satisfied, then it will not print the 2 value. Other than that, it will print everything. So this is the basic condition of using continue. In break, what happens? The condition is breaked up. Immediately the break syntax is encountered, the entire program is breaked. What happens if I write break here? What will happen if I write break here? One. Okay. 1 is equal to 2? No, 1 is not equal to 2. The next line it encountered is break. So it break the termination. It didn't get inside this. It print the 1. Here what is happening? Count is 0. While 0 is less than 5. Yes, it is less than 5. Get inside while loop 1. Now the count has been incremented, so it becomes 1. And it is checking if 1 is equal to 2. No, it didn't get inside break. It get outside and print the value 1 here. Again, 1 is less than 5. Yes, 1 is less than 5. Get inside while loop. Increment the value. Now 1 becomes 2. Count is equal to 2. Yes, if 2 is equal to 2, then go there and break. So now nothing will get printed. So this is the basic operation of while else loop, using break, using continue. Do remember that in presence of break, while else behaves as if else condition. Else statement can also get executed in presence of break if it is true. Otherwise, while condition will get executed. So this was all about while else statement. In the next lecture, we are going to see some programs and you are going to solve that program. That will be an assignment part. Now we have learned about basic loop structure. You have learned about conditional statements, basic operations. So this is the first phase of Python programming, and you are now ready to get into the second phase, that is using list, tuples, dictionary, sets, or you can say moving to the data structure type. Okay, so thank you for the time being. Hope you enjoyed this lecture. Thank you for attending this lecture. Do practice, because in the next lecture we are going to have some assignment part for you, and I will provide the solutions. Of course, that is all for learning purpose. No marks is there. Thank you. Hope you like this. Meet you in next lecture. Thank you.